bitch. Oh, excuse you? Baloney wash. I'm annoyed. I'm just here to give my opinion and carry Annie. Oh, it's Kris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Hey, everybody. Good morning. It's your boy, Kris Avalon, and welcome to a brand new episode of Kris Avalon Unfiltered. This might be the earliest I ever did a show. But anyway, it's basically a show where we talk about the latest entertainment news, celebrity news, gossip, anything that got to do with movies, music, entertainment, and all the juicy details that go on with that. We talk about it on this here show. So before we get to said topics, do yourselves a solid and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification button so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Kris Avalon Unfiltered. So, thank you all for tuning into the live stream. We do have a lot of topics we're going to be talking about, including confirmation of a certain actor who will not be returning for the next season of and just like that, so we're going to talk about that. Plus, Bobby Berk, they got a new replacement for him. We're going to talk about that. It was somebody I pretty much said was going to get the gig. But anyway, we're going to talk about the replacement for Bobby Berk over on Queer Eye. Plus, Madonna is being dragged because she included Lufa. Yeah, I call him Lufa. I know everybody else call him Luther, but you know, Lufa Vandross was included in her AIDS portion of her tour, and his team got upset and all the other stuff, and the picture was removed. So we're gonna talk about that. Plus, we're gonna talk a little bit about Wendy Williams. I know I went on extensively and stuff about it, but more stuff came out. DJ Boof went and spoke to TMZ and was saying that, you know, he basically gave a little interview. So we're going to play the clip and all the other stuff. Plus, there's a long, extensive interview that came out with the people who worked on the docuseries. And they were basically saying, like, if they would have known that Wendy Williams was, her brain was deteriorating and all the stuff that we know now, they wouldn't have went on, forward with the thing. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm not going to go and break the whole thing down because it's a lot, but I'm going to summarize it and give you a little bit of, you know, a little something to a little appetizer. If you want the main course, I'm gonna tell you where you can go to read the rest of the article. Plus, it's a big story that came out about Diddy out here, you know, and men's is, which child, quiet as is kept. I was just waiting for that to come out because we all knew it was a matter of time a man was gonna come out and accuse him of some stuff. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that and break that story down. Plus, there's a story that came out because Stevie J, they said Stevie J was in a sex tape with another dude. Mm-mm. I'm gonna tell you what it is. It was a porn star, so he came out and and took credit for it. So we're gonna talk about that. Plus, all the celebs who turned down cameos and J Lo's "This Is Me Now." I got the whole list, and how she was upset that Anthony Ramos wasn't didn't want to do the thing, and I'm gonna tell you why he didn't do it. But we're gonna talk about that. Plus, Gabourey Sidibe is with child, so we're gonna talk about that. And Billy Porter is selling his $2.5 million house. So he finally put up for sale. I'm gonna show y'all the picture of what the house looked like. So if y'all got the coin and y'all want to go support it, I'm gonna tell you where you know how much and all that. Well, I did tell you how much it was, but anyway. So those are the topics, and all that good stuff. Robert says, "Good morning, Ting." Oh, good morning. Wait, hold on. Let me do something real quick because I'm gonna actually put the live stream um in my Facebook, so that way if people want, because I had to take it from my fan page and I put it on my regular page, so that, well, the big more entertainment page that everybody pays attention to. So now that I put it there, put it where? Back there. So now that I put it there, we can get to this topics tab. But yeah, once again, if I didn't say it before, and I always say it in the beginning, but I'm gonna just repeat myself. If you guys haven't already, please hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the notification button, so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode. I was almost late. I'm gonna tell you why, because I was watching T.S. Madison, Maddie in the morning. You know that's my girl. I love me some Maddie, and they was having a little fag talk. That is such a genius name for a show, by the way. I, hopefully one day I get to be on that little panel. But it was cute. So they were going in. I was almost late because that was going in. She was going in and dragging Charlemagne down to the ground along with that Jess Hilarious, because they was out here talking about the segment regarding the girl who I guess did a 50 part. I don't know if y'all heard about it, but there's like this 50-part video that she did on TikTok where she was talking about that she was taken advantage of by this dude or whatever, that she fell in love with him and he catfished her and did a whole bunch of scamations, all this other stuff. The shit isn't 50 part. I'm like, who has the patience? You better be lucky if I give y'all a two-parter of a video on TikTok. But 50? 50 is a lot. So she wound up taking what she was getting advantage of, and he went and said something that's big back energy and all that other stuff. So trying to equate, like, I guess fat women aren't attractive and they're the only ones that's always getting taken advantage of. I said, first of all, that's a universal thing. Ain't got to do with back size. Slim bitches get taken advantage of, big bitches get taken advantage of, and everybody in between. So I don't know where y'all got that only big back girls or big women get taken advantage of in this situation. And so, Maddie had to drag them down to the ground because Charlamagne A is a fucking idiot. I was like, I've been knew that, and what really sealed the deal for me with him, because I feel like nobody's really caring about the Breakfast Club, like it's not popping like it used to. So y'all need a little controversy to go on that show just to get y'all asses to go viral. The minute he let Nikki Haley, Nimrata, because she be trying to act like the bitch ain't a brown person. She Indian trying to pass for fucking white. So the minute Nimrata got her little dusty ass up there, pandering to certain bases and trying to dismiss anything that got to do with black people in history and all that other stuff. Kind of like how black people try to erase queer black people from the situation. The same ones be doing that now that white people be doing that to y'all, or people who are of color that sit and kind of they turn their back to the people of color or black folks, then y'all get bad. But that's a whole nother conversation for another. So the minute he just let her sit there and say all that bullshit, I was like, this damn idiot. Don't know what the hell he doing or what he talking about. So when y'all sit there and just let people talk without doing research, whatever the case is, and say what you want about the women of the View. Like, some people feel like they be spewing propaganda and stuff, but at least they be up there with their little notes. The producers tell them stuff and they read and do the research. Well, I know Sonny does, but at least they be up there doing their research and shit. Unlike them idiots over there. I think y'all just show up in the fucking morning, sit them y'all asses, them tight ass chairs that y'all got from I was gonna be nice and say Bob's Furniture, but it looked like them furniture spots that y'all be going to. Like, I'll say, for example, if you from New York, y'all, them the furniture spots that y'all that be in the hood, like Jamaica Avenue in Queens, or you go to Flatbush in Brooklyn. When you go to them furniture store, that's what them chairs be giving me, with them big old them king size chairs that y'all want to sit in like y'all fucking royalty. When y'all basically was just doing your little situation designer. I mean, like when they did the group photo where they had Jess sitting in the chair. I'm like, that shit is so like 1995. Like, who still does those type of design? But anyway, I feel like I'm going on a rant. Let's get to the topics. But I do have two comments. So before I do that, I'm gonna get um yeah, well, yeah, and then he's such a goddamn idiot. But I'm gonna get to the J Lo thing in a second. But I just see you said that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. I'm like, first of all, is the pussy that damn good that he's doing everything he can to satisfy this woman? Because ain't no way in hell that I'm going against things that I don't want to do to please some woman. I'm sorry. I'm just glad to be single. Cause ain't no way in hell I'm joining Instagram. I'm doing all the social media stuff. I'm doing all this stuff to please. It's like, that's not my judge. If that's your thing, then you go off and do that, and you need to learn to respect that. But I've always said that Jennifer Lopez gives me that all she care about is herself. Child, I hope and pray them kids, them twins of hers ain't fucked up, because the mother is such a goddamn narcissist that they, mommy, please love me. Because it just seems, and don't get me started on her mother, because Guadalupe, sometimes I'll be like, bitch, is it? Well, I do agree. She do want to be famous, because she always in front row at the View. She always her daughter's biggest. She like, what you should be if you a mother. But then I remember J-Lo did say that her mother wanted to be a star and all this other stuff, but she couldn't do it. So then she stepped in. And I was like, I see the pattern. But anyway, let me hit my banner before I forget. And let's get to our first topic, which is Sara Ramirez exiting, and just like that. We did talk about this, I could have sworn, a couple of weeks ago. And Sara did allude to the fact, I think on their Instagram, because I keep forgetting they them pronouns. Here's the thing. Shout out to the plural people, because that's basically what it is. But I just don't get the whole, as a homosexual living and breathing, I don't get the whole they them thing, because they means more than one person. It's plural, it's not singular. So Sara, who is identifies as non-binary, was playing a character on it just like that, who was also non-binary. And I know that that character was universally hated. I particularly did not like the character. I found Che to be irritating, but it's not. I don't think we should just only blame that character. I blame the writers because quite frankly, a lot of the characters on that show irritated me, including the main cast. I was looking at Miranda. I'm like, bitch, you ain't never been this irritating. There be certain things you be doing on that show because I am rewatching Sex and the City, um, where she irritated my spirit. But like when and just like that, I'm like, who is writing this show? Because it's like these writers are working my root canal nerve in the way y'all be writing a lot of these characters. Season 2, in my opinion, was so unwatchable. I never even finished it. Like, I think I got halfway through the season. I don't even know what the scene required. I mean, I don't even know what happened when they brought Samantha back for that little cameo. So I don't even know how. And I heard she was in the season finale. So I don't even know what began of that. But anyway, so Sada, I believe, went on their Instagram and basically said that they weren't going to be coming back, I guess because of their political beliefs or something. That I think it had to do with their stance on the Israel Palestine conflict that's been going on, and said that they were fired because of that. But according to Variety, because they officially made it official, even though I think Sada already spilled the beans before it became official in the national trades, it says that Ramirez has played non-binary stand-up comedian, and that was another thing too. Them jokes was never funny. So whoever wrote the jokes, they need to be shot. Hope it wasn't the Asian guy who was a comedian that was on the show too, because I remember him from Chelsea Lately. But anyway, that worked at the radio station. Ramirez has played non-binary stand-up comedian Che Diaz in season 1, during which the character became a meme-generating object of mockery. In a cover story interview for Variety's Pride issue in June 2022, Ramirez said they had tried to avoid the online commentary. Other people's opinions of the character, that is something I cannot allow in my process. This is what they said. I choose what I believe, right? That's the beauty of being grown. I don't have to receive everything. Now, in the first season, was just like that. Che, who had a podcast with Carrie, swept Miranda off her feed, causing her marriage to Steve to end. And that was another thing, too, that used to always irritate me about Miranda and them writers. Y'all always had like Steve was always Steve truly treated Miranda like a queen, and that bitch ain't even appreciated. She always treated Steve like shit, even back when they was dating. And they used to always piss me off about her, but it just probably went to show because of that power dynamic with her. Maybe with some childhood trauma, it was something that was going on. But I always hated the way Miranda treated Steve on that show because he was my favorite. Just like I always thought some Carrie and Aiden always belonged together because Aiden treated that bitch like a queen and she didn't appreciate it because Carrie had to go running off having sex with Big every damn chance she got when he was married to that model. I told you I'm rewatching the season. So in the first season, oh, okay. So then it said the season 2 finale concluded with Carrie saying goodbye to her Upper East Side apartment by hosting a final dinner party there with both Miranda and Che in attendance. So I guess y'all telling me how it ended because I told her I ain't watch it. Now, of late, Ramirez has been outspoken, prolific proponent for a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war, as reflected on their Instagram. Because of this advocacy, last month, the Daily Mail posted a story that speculated that Ramirez was hitting that they had been fired from And Just Like That because of the pro-Palestinian views, pointing to a particular post that stated, "It's wild how performative so many Hollywood are, even more performative than the last character I played." Yeah, now I know a lot of people just didn't like the character because they didn't feel like that Che was a true representation of non-binary people. And in this day and age, when it comes to playing characters that people are not used to being exposed to, you have to portray them correctly. It's like you having a trans character up there and you playing and people look back to the old stereotypes of like, oh, so the serial killer's a cross dresser, or they couldn't deal with their trauma of being a woman, so I had to go murdering people. So then people had this thought in their mind that, all gay people had AIDS, because that's all the movies that was coming out back in the day, or people with who were transgender or whatever were serial killers. So when you have this non-binary character acting this way, I know people get mad, but I always say, like, you know what, we're all flawed. So whether you're a black person, you should be able to showcase flaws in that character. Everybody can't be perfect. And if you're a queer person in a movie, TV show, whatever, we need to show those flaws as well. Everybody's not going to be perfect, and we can't just all act like we Mary Poppins out here. But I just found the character to be irritating, and that's the fault of the writers. So But then as far as like the whole Israel situation, like this is what irritates me is the fact that we should have a right to look at both sides and question when our own people, particularly this current president, is doing things that people don't like. And what the Biden administration needs to look at and acknowledge is the fact that a lot of people are pissed at them on how they're handling this whole situation in Israel. Why it seems like you're helping Israel, basically eradicate and massacre an entire species of people. Palestinians, well, I say species, human being, but a whole class of people. You're trying to get rid of these people because you feel like Israel should have the right to. It's all about colonization. Which, if anybody know more about colonization, it's Americans or people who stole America for the goddamn Native Americans. But and that's another form of genocide. So people should be allowed to come out here and speak out against things without some studio, which y'all playing into the stereotype that studios are run by Jews because it's y'all confirming what a lot of people been saying and y'all get mad about it. So when you out here pushing for this agenda or whatever, that it's like, oh, I can't speak out on something. So now this studio that's run by a Weinstein or Lichtenstein or anybody, whatever other, or a Goldberg, Bloomberg, Sandberg, any kind of Berg or whatever. Anybody that's running these businesses are saying, "Oh well, I don't want this person working here. They're gonna be fired because they're saying something against my people." And it's like you're not God. You're not somebody who. But people can do whatever they want with their studios or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, you firing people having a difference of opinion, it's some bullshit. So if that's the reason why y'all fired her from the show, instead of that her character was an irritation, then to me, I don't like that because you're doing the same thing that y'all did to Melissa Barrera and so many other people that are speaking out and trying to have empathy for others. So you're trying to say that your plight and what you're going through is more important than what these other people are going through. So good luck, Sara. Hopefully you find work somewhere else. You probably dodged the bullet from not being on that show. Because then just like that, I'm sorry. As much as I love Sex of the City, the spinoff has not been given what needs to be given since I've been watching it. Because it always feels like, and when people say woke and all this other stuff, it does feel like it doesn't feel natural that these girls will hang out with the character. Like y'all try to make up for the fact of Sex of the City didn't diversify enough, even though the show took place in New York. Where was the diversity? We should have been seeing blacks, Latinos, Asians, because when I walk down the street in Manhattan, I see all these different people, but they wasn't showcasing that. Even though y'all filmed on location in New York, we wasn't seeing that. So we wasn't seeing that diversity in New York. So you can't tell me no Asian people, no Spanish people, no black people live up on the Upper East Side or the West Side or whatever, because I see them every time I walk up out my house. So I don't understand like how y'all wasn't showcasing that. Y'all, it's fine if you want to make your core white girls, but we need to show them interacting with other races and stuff. And it should have felt like that. But now this show feels like y'all just trying to make up for lost time and y'all trying to correct criticism that y'all got from a show that came out 25 some odd years ago. And now you trying to shoehorn in these people just to shut us the fuck up. That's the way it felt to me. So until y'all can get that right, then I can understand. But the show just doesn't feel authentic. But it's good to see, the old cast back up on there. All right, so let's get to some of these comments. It says the people that grew up with Sex in the City was extremely pissed at how the main characters were treated as too old for the world today and modern society, and it felt very ageist. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love seeing a lot of older, look, it's like comfort food. There's nothing wrong with showing older people on TV and stuff. But if people gonna be up in here acting all ageist, then you know what? Go watch what got kids in it. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Go see that shit. Even though I'm not throwing shade at it because this Avatar, the live action one, is actually pretty good. I gotta finish it, by the way. I got so much stuff to watch, but I'm gonna be busy later on. That's why I'm doing the show early because I gotta go out. I got things to do. Tomorrow I'm gonna go see Dune 2. So I'm probably come on and do a show on Friday and let y'all know my overall thoughts and all the other stuff. So yeah, there's that. Um, yeah, we'll get to the Jennifer Lopez thing coming up soon. But if she is withholding the twins from seeing their father, you ain't no good gonna come to that bitch until she do right by whatever. Cause if you hate Virgos that much, ho, ain't nobody tell you spread your legs for one. It's like a lot of the shows have only one or two black or Asian people. Yeah. But I always feel like if y'all gonna try to act like New York is this you're gonna make New York come across as authentic or whatever, or whatever. You're gonna play base stuff here. You need to really show how New York is. But then again, Sex and the City was so unreal, was not realistic at all. Like, first of all, there was no way in hell that Carrie was gonna be able to afford the apartment she had on that salary doing a damn column. And she was out here buying Jimmy Choo's all damn day, but she never had the money to pay her damn bills. So um the show was unrealistic in a lot of ways. Okay, so speaking of, hold on, I was like, what's the next one? Okay, now speaking of replacements, and we weren't going from a fire to a higher. Let's talk about Bobby Burke and the fact that it's official that Jeremiah Brent, who I could have sworn I called this. So shout out to my psychic brain or my good instincts. Because I remember when we first talked about the whole thing regarding Bobby Burke and him leaving Queer Eye, I said it'd be smart to either have. I said the first thing that popped in my head was I said Jeremiah Brent or Nate Burke as his husband. Y'all can pick one of them because I knew they was gonna go white. I knew they was gonna look. Yeah, they only want one representation of every demographic. You got, I believe, Tan Francis Indian, so you got him, and then you got Miss Karamo, the black girl. So he gonna be up there and doing that. But anyway, so it says according to Variety, interior designer Jeremiah Brent is set to join season 9 of Queer Eye as a host alongside Anthony Porowski, Jonathan Van Ness, that's Gay Jesus, Karamo Brown, and Tan France. The new season goes into production in Las Vegas this spring. Now, Queer Eye was produced by Scott Productions, which I believe also produced Legendary, and ITV Entertainment. You know, um, Rest in peace, Legendary. I wish they'd bring that damn show back because that was my show. Premiered in 2018 as a reboot of the original 2003 series. It has become a streaming hit on Netflix, winning 11 Emmy Awards. It currently holds the record for the most wins in the structured category with 6 consecutive wins. Bobby Burke served as the interior design expert on the series' first 8 seasons. He announced his exit in November. Now, for those who aren't familiar with Jeremiah Brent, because I've known Jeremiah Brent since he was on the Rachel Zoe project. That's where I know him from, because he replaced Brad Goreski. Because remember, Brad Goreski was the first person that used to work. I think he was her assistant or something or another. But he worked with her, and I believe Rachel fired him, and then he went over and had a good career. He hosts Drag Race Canada. I actually met him last year at the RuPaul's Drag Race season 15 premiere when he was there promoting that that gay reality show that he was doing with Todrick. See how fast I forgot the name of it? Everybody else did. But anyway, Real Friends of WeHo. So yeah, he was there. He was on the red carpet doing all that stuff. So that's how where I met Brad Goreski for the first time. But anyway, so yeah, so he owns the lifestyle brand Atrio, and he's the founder of Jeremiah Brent Design. And he's, like I said before, he's married to interior designer Nate Burkus, and they've collaborated on multiple projects, including their exclusive line with Living Spaces and co-hosting duties of Nate and Jeremiah by Design, Nate and Jeremiah Save My House, and Nate and Jeremiah Home Project. They competed on HGTV's Rock the Block in 2021, and he previously hosted the Emmy-winning Homemade Simple for the Oprah Winfrey Network. In 2020, he hosted Netflix Say I Do, a wedding spinoff of Queer Eye, produced by the same team. And Brent served as an interior design expert alongside fashion expert Ty Nguyen and food expert Gabrielle Bertoncini. So he's been out here busy, and it makes sense that they would have him do this sort of thing with the interior design thing. So it's a good look for him. He's young. He's like what, in his late 30s, and it kind of fits in the same demographic as the rest of them on that show because I think they're all in their 30s and 40s. That's on there, and so yeah, Jeremiah is a good fit for the show. I mean, I like Bobby Burke. I'm gonna miss Bobby Burke, but I feel like Bobby's ready to move on and do different things, and I'm sure like what's gonna happen is a big old swap. Bobby's gonna be over there on HDTV doing stuff. They said he's been hanging out with one of the property brothers, the twins. And he's probably got something cooking up with them, and he's probably, so he's gonna be good. Everybody loves an interior designer, or I do like interior designer shows because I like watching shows about homes and design and stuff. I like those as much as I love, design shows like I was gonna say Top Chef, but I do like cooking shows too. So I do love Top Chef because Padma's my girl. But I do like design shows where they design houses and all this stuff. So HDTV, that's my channel. So I'll be definitely checking to see what Bobby Berk got going on over there with well, I mean not yeah, what Bobby Berk's got going over there. Cause I was like, yeah, that, I am talking about him. So yeah, good luck to you, sir. And pretty much knew he was gonna get it. But anyway. All right, so let's move on to our next topic and talk about Madonna, who is in trouble, child, because she wound up putting a picture of Luther Vandross in the age tribute portion of her celebration tour. So shout out to Entertainment Weekly for this story because it says during her tour, the singer has paid tribute to famous stars who have died of AIDS with a touching photo montage set to her performance of Live to Tell. Now, according to Page Six, who first reported the news, Luther Vandross' image was suddenly included on Saturday during the montage at a tour stop in Sacramento, California, which apparently came as a surprise to the late singer-songwriter's estate. Saying Luther, because I always say I call him Luther. Luther Vandross passed away in 2005 due to complications from a stroke suffered 2 years earlier. This is what a rep told the outlet from his estate. The statement continued and said, while we appreciate Madonna's recognition for those lives lost to AIDS, Luther was never diagnosed with AIDS or the HIV virus. We're not sure whether she or her production team received false medical information claiming otherwise. The Vandross' estate said it contacted Madonna's management to get the image removed, and her reps have confirmed to EW that it has since been taken out. An EW request for comment from Vandross' estate was not immediately returned on Monday. So here's the thing, because I was like, wait a minute. When they talked about that, I'm like, I don't call now. I know, even though I was drinking a bit at this, I not a lot of it, not a little bit, a lot of it. Even though I was drinking because at Madison Square Garden they have a 2 drink maximum. But anyway, um, when I was at when I went to go see her at MSG, I was like, Luther Vandross and I don't recall. I said, did they confuse Luther Vandross with Sylvester? Because we all know Sylvester had died of AIDS, complications of AIDS. Nobody dies of AIDS. It's always complications. So it could be, kidney failure. It could be other things that's been going on in regards of, due to the body deteriorating medications, all other stuff. Even though now we have the medications that help people live a long time. So when I first heard this, I'm like, did they get this confused? But then they said in the article that it was this past Saturday. So they just added the photo in there. And I'm just like, where did she get this information? But then another friend of mine who's a musician told me, he was saying that Den Better, he said that he's heard, like, based on the montage, he said there's a lot of people that she's been incorporating in this segment that they're saying died of AIDS and HIV and they didn't. So is this some type of confusion going? So I feel like, Madonna, your people need to confirm and make sure. Like, you need to have your team making sure that this is the tea, that this is what's going on, and that the people that you are including in this situation has the virus. Now, my thing is this, because I had totally forgotten about this, and I remember Felix sent me something the other day, who's in the comments about Patti LaBelle outing Lufa when she appeared on Watch What Happens Live. And people was mad at her about that. I'm like, okay, it's not your place to out him and all this other. First of all, the real outrage, in my opinion, that people should be upset about is the fact that Lufa couldn't be his authentic self because A, he's black, B, he's a man, and we live in a society where the black community has an issue with homosexuals, even though I hate to keep bringing it up, but it's like, I gotta remind you bitches that if it wasn't for black queer people, the civil rights situations that we have today, you wouldn't have them. So people need to thank, the Zora Neale Hurstons, the Alice Walkers, the Bayard Rustins. Bayard Rustin, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have, Martin Luther King wouldn't have been able to put together that whole March on Washington, the whole civil right, that whole sort of thing. So yes, a black gay man was in charge of that. But people wanted to erase him from history. So people want to always try to toss black queer people to the side, and at the time, it's like, yeah, he couldn't be out and he couldn't be himself. So, and the fact of the matter was that he lived in the closet because he didn't want to disappoint his mother. And then on top of that, the record label wasn't going to let him come out and be his authentic self. So he had to hide his sexuality. What makes you think he didn't have, the virus? So his team probably didn't want that getting out, just like they didn't want his sexuality getting out, even though quiet as it's kept. Helen Keller could have told you that Luther was a big old queen. So what you trying to hide? Like we all knew it. It was an open secret. So I get it on one hand, but that's where the real outrage should be from. It shouldn't be over the fact that Patti LaBelle done spilled some tea that we already freaking knew. But people get mad when you spew truth. But then y'all salivate at the mouth over the truth. But then y'all try to play, oh, I don't like that. It's the same shit with Wendy Williams. Oh, but she talks so much about people. But y'all was sitting there eating up everything that came out that lady mouth like it was, a two-piece and a biscuit. So um I say all this to say, Madonna, I get you mean well when it comes to, and the tribute is heartfelt because I did get emotional when I watched it. I was singing along with Live to Tell because that's one of my favorite Madonna songs, one of many. And I appreciate all the effort that she put into that thing. But your team needs to make sure that the people that's incorporated, and not just Luther, because like I said before, a friend of mine said that this wasn't like there were people that was in the segment that didn't have it. And when people are looking at that, they're making assumptions that these people that you've included in this segment had died of AIDS. So if it's not correct, you need to make sure your people correct that situation because it's going to be a Beyonce situation. Remember when during I'm a Diva, somebody's getting fired. It's going to be something like that. So good luck to you, Queen. I know she's about to wrap up this tour soon in April. I think she got 2 more months left. All right, so we got some comments, and then we'll get to because we were speaking of Wendy Williams, we're gonna talk about Wendy Williams next. Yep, that's what I said. I talked about Patti LaBelle outing him and said he and Whitney Houston couldn't be them. Said absolutely. It's like Whitney Houston could be, I don't know, I won't say Whitney's a lesbian, but she did have a relationship with Robin. People may want to or act like she didn't, but Whitney was a church. Her mother was someone who was deep in the church, just like I'm sure that um Luther's mother was probably deep in the church. And when you come from that whole church background, there's a lot of stuff that comes, especially the black church. There's a lot that comes with that. It's like, yeah, you can sing in the choir and stuff, but you can't be yourself. Mind you, these pastors and these preachers out here hunching dudes behind the scenes, and y'all look the other way about that. Ain't isn't Shirley Caesar a big old bulldagger? But they don't be talking about that. Sylvester was able to be, yeah, and that's why I think people loved about Sylvester because Sylvester was out here being a full-fledged drag queen and was living it up. And luckily during the disco era, he was able to able to capitalize over that whole vibe until he got sick and passed away. And that's why I said, yeah, I've been saying that to you. I said, child, there was always a story that went around that every time because he said, oh, I'd never been in love. Child, he was saying that because he was talking to the mainstream publications. But the tea was behind the scenes that anytime Luther lost weight is because he was in love and he had a man in the background that y'all ain't know about. When that weight ballooned back up was when he was stressed, he was heartbroken, all that was. That was always the story that went around. Even when I was a kid, I used to hear people say that about him. So that was always the tea. Okay, so let's talk about my girl, Wendy Williams. Sure. All right, so there's this article that came out because I want to set it up before I get to the DJ Booth clip that he went and spoke on TMZ. But anyway, so the producers came out because we already talked about the whole Wendy Williams thing. I hope I hit every cylinder and stuff because I don't want to keep talking about it. I said what I said on it. I'm sure I've evolved in my situations. I feel for her, but at this point, I don't even know who should be able to take care of Wendy because that family is kind of giving me a little suspect vibes at times, especially I don't understand how the hell Lil Kev had 100. Was it 80,000 or was it 100,000? Because I keep hearing people saying $100,000, but I could have sworn when I watched the damn docu series that it said he had an $80,000 Uber Eats bill. Who the fuck is spending all that goddamn money on Uber Eats? Who eats that much that your bill for Uber Eats is 80 grand? Like, motherfucker, you need to get your ass in that goddamn kitchen and learn how to cook some vegan food. Because I'll be damned if you're gonna sit up in here and run up a $80,000 or $100,000 Uber Eats bill. You need to learn how to work that stove, how to turn it on, put the frying pan on top of that thing, and fry up some eggs. You shouldn't have to be running to have Uber Eats deliver you some shit from some Starbucks for you to be able to eat. Cause that's ridiculous. But it seemed like he said, Wendy was spoiling him because it was the overall guilt. Because during that time when he was growing up, she was drinking still. People act like this stuff just happened recently. But no, Wendy was out here for years. Even after she got clean from that booger sugar, she was having her ailments, her issues or whatever. all her problems with her body, the lymphedema, the thyroid, all that stuff. But then would go home when the show was over, shut the blind. Because remember, she always used to say she would shut the blinds and all this stuff. But now we know why. Because it's like you shutting them blinds because you don't want nobody seeing you actually in that damn bed watching your little Sex in the City reruns while you down in a whole bottle of vodka with no chaser. I told them the old school people, nobody do chasers. This new generation, well, I say y'all new generation do chasers. Because I remember I told her that story about when I was in the circus, and then it was like, there was nothing to do. So my coworkers and stuff was like, "Oh yeah, you want to drink?" And we sitting outside hanging out or whatever, and they drinking, they doing. I'm like, "What's a chaser?" Like, first of all, we took shit to the head. I don't know about no damn chaser. They have to do like little juice chasers because the liquor was too much for them to handle. I was like, "No, we take it straight from the bottle. Like if I drink, no, not a bottle of whiskey, but if I do a shot of whiskey, whatever the case is, I take it to the head. I don't do no damn chaser." But anyway, so um after the whole thing came out, everybody said what they said about the docu-series. People was out here blaming the producers. How could y'all put this thing together? How could y'all exploit her and stuff like that? It's like, but wait a minute. Producers, documentary filmmakers, directors, whatever the case is, their job is to sit there with the camera and capture what's going on. How you blaming them? They're not the ones who signed off on this situation. In the article that I actually linked, because if you want to read it like extensively, like everything, because this is a long ass interview. They were interviewed by E1 producer Mark Ford, along with EP Erica Hansen and Lifetime's Bree Miranda Bryant. So if y'all want to read the whole thing, because they did a sit down with the Hollywood Reporter, I did link it in the description down below in the YouTube channel. So you could click it open and y'all can read it extensively, because I don't want to sit here and go through this and just be a 30 damn minute video on Wendy Williams. But they told about how it came about, and they said that Will Selby set all this up. So if y'all want to get mad at somebody, get mad at the manager, because he kept drilling into her head, podcast, podcast, podcast. You need to do a podcast. You need to, mind you, you look dead at this lady and say she's not even of sound mind to be doing any kind of podcast. Because what I'm doing now is this show, it takes a lot of brain power and stuff to say all the things that I'm saying. It's literally like a typewriter going off in my brain right now, spewing all this mess out. You look at Wendy, you clearly see she's not of sound mind to even be up there to formulate a bunch of damn words to turn into a sentence to talk about what we would think that she would talk about, which would be celebrity news, gossip, and all that other stuff, which is what her bread and butter, her foundation is. So how's she gonna get up there and do a show? So they're gonna have this lady up here slurring her words, can't remember nothing, talk about, I want to show y'all my feet in the middle of a conversation about Beyonce, and then pull up her damn feet or pulling her titties out like she tried to show her damn boobs to the producers and stuff. So y'all want them moments because y'all think the shit's funny when she's actually under the influence, and then that's a cause of the whole situation with her with the dementia. And then another thing I need to point out, because I remember I had to drag Charlemagne early in the show. He said that time when she was being nasty and disrespectful to that staff, he said, "No, that's her. Y'all sitting up here blaming the dementia." He said, "No, that's Wendy." Like Wendy was like that before the whole dementia thing situation happened. So I said, "Oh, so she was a bitch like that behind the scene? Oh hell no, I wouldn't be working because it ain't about no damn tough skin. The tough skin would be me knocking her ass across the fucking room, which is probably what Kevin was doing to her while they was married." Because it's like, "Oh no, bitch, I don't give a fuck how much coin you got. You are not gonna talk to me like that and talk about liposuction." I said, "No, bitch, you first. You go get that goddamn liposuction or take them damn implants. It's probably fucking with the chemicals in your brain out your body. So if you don't come for me, I'm gonna cut your ass out." But anyway, so they said all of that in the clips and all the other stuff where they was talking about. I don't know why I just went into that Wendy Reed. Just like my fault. But anyway, so they were talking about the podcast and all this other stuff, and they talked about a whole bunch of things. But they also said like if they would have known that all this stuff was going on with her, they would have stopped production. But it's like if somebody is chosen you to do all this stuff, sometimes you got to go down and see how far the rabbit hole goes. And I feel like, in a way, what the docuseries did, because people need to look beyond the fact that Wendy was looking a mess and all this other stuff, but look at is like we need to look at this conservatorship because I saw something online and I think who was it? Somebody did an article. I think it might have been. I think it was Make It Make Sense and Lovely Tea. Somebody did something, and they basically said that Sabrina, who was the conservator, stole, I believe, $30 million from Wendy Williams. So there's a whole lot of people running around here stealing money, all this other stuff. I need to watch that the interview or whatever, or the videos or whatever with all the evidence to know the full thing. But when I find that out, I will bring it to y'all. But there's just been a lot of people left, right, and center stealing from this lady, and it's unfortunate. But I say all that to say because DJ Boof recently did an interview with TMZ where he sat down because he was a former DJ at the Wendy Williams show. He also DJs for Nicki Minaj, so I want to point that out also. But he said that that himself as well as the Wendy Williams show staff were not clued into the extent of the illness that Wendy had been suffering from. And I know a lot of people want to sit and drag him and blame them. It's like, oh, well, y'all was enabling her, this and the other. But I'm like, but wait a minute, didn't Deborah Mercury kind of give her ultimatum that if she wants to come back to doing the show, that there are certain rules and guidelines? She got to get herself clean. She needs to go to rehab. She needs to work on all the, getting her health and everything back together before she even thinks about wanting to come back and do a talk show. And she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to listen. She wanted to sit up in here and wallow in her misery and drink herself to sleep and pass out. And so, let me play this clip of him talk about this, and then we will come. Wait, hold on. Do 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 do. Yeah, let's play this.
How long was this going on? And was there a conflict that you saw? Because I think your perspective is so important. A conflict between the people who are running the show and the family in terms of what's best for Wendy?
I don't think no one knew exactly to the extent how bad it was. I felt like people knew something was up with her, but they didn't really know. I knew it because I've been around it. It's sad to see something like that happen to her. You know, she needs help.
I'm curious what your relationship has been. Have you been able to be in touch with her? Or do you see it the way the family is describing it?
I speak to Wendy. I don't know how. I don't know if they speak to her as much as I do, but last time I spoke to her was probably like about a month ago. I don't think it's her not keeping them in a loop. I think it could be the guardianship that's not letting them know exactly what's going on.
That's how they see it, at least. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you was to ask me, I think she does need to be around her family. It is hard for me a little because, she not she's my friend. I've with this woman for 12 years, so I've seen it all. And then it was a relationship outside of the show that most people don't have. I bumped back into her in Miami, which everyone's seen, and we took a picture together. And I seen her; she was 100% great. She was recovering,
yeah.
And that was due because I seen her in Miami, and she was with her son and Travis, and she seemed to be doing great. I think, and if you was to ask me, I believe Florida would be a better place for her because that's where her family is, and I think that she needs that 24-hour care.
Okay, and I actually agree. I think that maybe the best thing for her would be around her son because, like they said before, Kevin was the one that got his mother clean and everything. Because remember, it wasn't that long ago that Lil Kev was caught up in addiction and all other stuff, which is I think why he's a vegan and stuff now. Now, quiet as it's kept, in case y'all don't remember, they said that the reason why he all of a sudden vegan is because Sharina was vegan and introduced him and his father to being vegans and all this other stuff. And they also said Sharina was the one that helped get him. I think he went over to Colombia, one of them South American places, and got him clean off them drugs. Because I think what he was doing bath salts or something or another. He got addicted to K2 or whatever I think is what it was called. Child, I hope they're still not selling that in the bodegas in New York. But yeah, at the time he got caught up in that whole K2 craze and all the other stuff, and then they had to get him clean. So it wasn't even Wendy that got her damn son together. It was the mistress and his damn father. So if Lil Kev is in a way of like the only one that can get his mother right, I don't understand why. And we've seen the results before. I don't understand why this judge in New York has allowed some conservator to come in that don't even know Wendy and clearly don't care. Because like I said before, how you got this lady in the house with hiding bottles all over the place, drinking herself to sleep. People clearly, somebody up in there buying it, probably that big back bitch, Sean was probably up in there buying her liquor like she was going to the store to get her e-pens, because we seen that, and they had to go around the block for the Wendy Williams show 3 damn times. Cause she's like, do it again, do it again. Like she didn't remember that they took her to the store she always goes to get her damn e-pen. Cause she don't remember, cause she drunk and the whole dementia situation. So I don't understand why, if the son has shown results that he got his mother clean and sober and she's eating and she's speaking clearly and she's getting on the right track. I don't understand why it's a problem for him to step in and take care of his mother. So with all this evidence, so what needs to happen is like show them the documentary, show them the evidence, the clips, the video, even the one from the attorney friend that Wendy had that was able to get her together with all this other stuff. Why don't they bring all this to a courtroom? Scrape the money together, have them present this in front of a judge and shows like these are the results. This is what happened with my mother when I took care of her, versus when your stupid ass left my mother in the care of these people, and this is the result what happened. So clearly you don't know what the fuck you doing, judge. I should be able to step in and take care of my mother. So there needs to be a way that he can collectively bring this together. I mean, if the lawyer friend that posted this video is able to help him in any way or whatever, they should be able to do that. And Tommy, you need to probably figure out how to help get your sister back in the trend and stuff instead of doing YouTube damn videos to capitalize on this docu-series. Because I did see that he went live to talk about the show or whatever on his YouTube channel. So good luck to you, Wendy. And like I said before, if y'all want to read that full article about the producers and the people that work behind the scenes on the docu-series, I did link it in the description down below with all the topics and all the other stuff. So if y'all definitely want to check that out, y'all can. And shout out to DJ Booth, who's out here trying to look out for his friend and get better, Wendy, because we need you back. I mean, back in good spirits. I don't think she's going to be able to recover and because I'm thinking like if you got this dementia, aphasia thing, same thing as Bruce Willis, there's no way your mind is going to come back to be able to do a podcast or any type of performing on TV. I think them days is over. So when you got dumbasses about, oh, well, she get her son together, she can come back. She ain't coming back. Like once you got something like dementia or it's alcohol induced, you ain't gonna be able to get up there and do no show like you was in your heyday. It's just a fact. Or just obvious, I should say. All right, so let's get to the comments. Okay, so the apartment was 80K, but then I think the Uber Eats was 100K. So it's who could eat 80K worth of food? He must be having, and that's what I was thinking too, because there's no way in hell, like for a regular person like myself, if I had a mother like Wendy Williams, who's spending 100K on food? Especially like even I could see like grocery, but if you having a party or something, I could understand that. Or yeah, it's like if you feeding the goddamn neighborhood, if you got a whole bunch of friends coming over and you having parties, I could understand you spend that kind of money. But no, nobody in their right mind is spending 100K on Uber Eats, like unless you got a lot of people coming over and you paying for them. Yeah, the fact of her saying she won't take over and taking it off when Black China showed up. It was like, first of all, Wendy Williams would never show her real hair on camera. Never. And she said that her damn self. So this is how you knew something was wrong with her. They said, then I saw that the producer said if they had known she was struggling with dementia, they would have stopped filming. They probably just thought, I don't think that anybody knew what a diagnosis was until but they ain't off the hook 100%. Because remember, Little Kev admitted that it was dementia in an interview. When they interviewed him, he revealed what it was to them. So it's on camera that he basically said it. But they're saying that if they would have known she was struggling with dementia when it was start filming, I don't agree with that. I don't think they would have. I think that the show must go on at the end of the day. They would have kept them cameras rolling because in the beginning, and they even said in the interview that there was a lot of stuff that they had in there that they didn't show. So they have a lot of footage. that we haven't seen. But yeah, I was like, y'all didn't have a dementia diagnosis until Little Kev said what it was. But in the beginning, it's like if we have all this stuff, if we have all this information, or we have all this footage, why are we gonna let that go? So Flocka, I'm trying to remember what I said to even bring that for that. Cause I be saying stuff and then it's like I just move on. Okay, so all right, let's move on and talk about this big ass story. So Diddy Child, now you already know we know the stuff about Cassie. We know about all the other people that's coming out. I think it's like 3 other people. Oh yeah. So you said bath salts. No, no, it was Lil Kev, I believe, was doing because there was a period where he was on drugs, and I believe the Daily Mail revealed this, and then we'll get to the Diddy story in a minute. That he was doing K2 and all the other stuff. He got addicted, and then they had to kind of take him. He wound up going to like I believe Colombia or somewhere else, and he had to get clean. And Sharina, from the story I heard, the mistress and his father, Big Kev, had a hand in getting that boy clean. It wasn't even Wendy. So, okay, so now take two. So Diddy has, there's a story that came out now that he's been accused of assaulting a producer on his latest album that I didn't listen to because I couldn't. I told I don't like Diddy, so I was listening to that track because he was out here trying to promote love, but you be doing everything but what you be preaching. So Sean Diddy Combs was sued on Monday in federal court by a producer on his most recent album who accuses the music mogul of sexually harassing, drugging, and threatening him over more than a year. The producer, whose name is, I was going to say Rodney Jerkins, chef, Rodney Little Rod Jones, said in the lawsuit that he lived and traveled with Combs from September 2022 to November 2023, during which time he recorded hours of video and audio of Combs, his staff, and others engaging in serious illegal activity. Now, among the allegations is that Combs forced Jones to procure sex workers and pressured him to engage in unwelcome sex acts with them and others, and that Combs gave laced alcoholic beverages to people who attended parties at his homes, which is an ongoing thing because it ain't just Diddy out here doing it. It was a lot of people that was out here doing it. I'm sure Harvey Weinstein was out here doing that shit too, and so many others who were in these powerful positions. This is a tale as old as time in Hollywood. But anyway, let's continue. The lawsuit includes that it says are screenshots from gatherings hosted at Combs's homes that includes underage girls and sex workers, some of whom he said were providing drinks that had been laced with drugs at Combs' direction. The suit filed in U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York also names Combs' son, Justin Combs, his chief of staff, Christina Coram, Universal Music Group CEO, Sir Lucian Grange, and former Motown's record CEO, Ethiopia Habtemariam, as defendants. Jones said in the lawsuit that Grange, Habtemariam, Motown Records, Love Records, and Universal Music Group effectively worked together with Combs in a RICO enterprise that failed to adequately monitor, warn, or supervise the actions of Combs, his son, and his chief of staff. A RICO enterprise is any individuals or groups that act together to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizers Act. Jones is actually seeking $30 million in the lawsuit. So reps for Quorum, Grange, Motown Records, and Love Records did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Habtemariam could not immediately be reached for comment. Now, reps for Justin Combs said in a statement that he categorically denies these absurd allegations, saying they are all lies. This is a clear example of a desperate person taking desperate measures in hopes of a payday. And this is what the statement said. There will be legal consequences for all defamatory statements made about the Combs. Yeah, okay. An attorney for Combs said Jones recklessly name dropping about events that are pure fiction simply did not happen and is nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner headlines. So, like I said, well, first of all, the guy said that he has receipts and all this other stuff. And I was watching, shout out to Lovely T. She did do a deep dive into this whole situation. And if you ever get a chance, definitely go check out her video on YouTube because she did a whole situation about this and had the receipts, the whole court documents. She even had pictures. And so I was like, Diddy guilty. But first of all, I believe it. Because number one, y'all can't sit up in here and tell me that Diddy don't be hunching men. That story's been going around for eons that Diddy be getting down with dudes behind the scenes. And ain't just him. And there was a story also that came out that Stevie J name was thrown up in there too and said that he was in a gay porn video that they were sitting up in there watching up in that house while, a bunch of stuff was happening. I do have the details on what they said that had happened. So because I didn't finish, I mean, I didn't have the whole thing of what it is, but I saw another article that it said that Jones constantly accused Diddy of unsolicited groping and sexual touching. He also claimed that he had to work in a bathroom while Combs showered in a clear glass enclosure and walked around in the nude in the 73 page. First of all, Diddy ain't even in Jason Momoa shape. So who would want to be seeing Diddy Down syndrome looking ass walking around butt ass naked? Anybody trying to see that? But anyway, so it said as a result, Mr. Jones has secured hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Mr. Combs, his staff, and his guests engaging in serious illegal activity. They said that when Jones shared with Corm about Diddy, why am I saying Disney? Diddy's alleged behavior, she allegedly dismissed the groping of Mr. Jones's anus and genitals as friendly horseplay. Well, I don't know nobody that be out here horseplaying sticking fingers in people's anus or doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And Diddy give me like he don't even manicure them damn nails. On Thanksgiving Day in 2022, Jones claims that the female cousin of Young Miami, Jesus, why am I thinking Disney? Diddy's girlfriend at the time sexually assaulted him as well in the presence of Mr. Combs and his staff. Additionally, the suit states that Jones accused Combs of bringing hookers into the house in Miami and that he was drugged and possibly raped on one occasion. And so, yeah, there's all of that that's been going on with that. And yeah, so there was another one, and they said that, well, you know, he has Bobby Sternum that is going to be repping him, who is a high power attorney. And that's from the girl who said that she was assaulted at the Bad Boys, at what is it, Daddy House, and that it was her, it was him, and then it was Harpier and a whole bunch of other people. I think it was another person too. So like I said before, I believe this whole damn thing. I'm not putting nothing past Diddy, no nasty ass, going around here doing all kinds of nasty stuff with people. And you know what? I know people would be like, well, um, I'm glad that he spoke out. And the good thing is, it's actually soon. This didn't happen like 10 years ago. It didn't happen 5 years ago. It didn't happen like 15 years ago. This happened within 2000, like about a year ago. So this is recent. So it's good that this stuff is out here. And if the guy says that he has evidence to corroborate his story, then definitely bring them receipts. You get what you need to get. And if we see that he actually gonna pay this dude out like he paid Cassie, then we know the story is true. But I truly believe it. But also not only that, but there was a story where they also included Stevie J, and they said that there was a sex tape that the guy was watching, and it shows Stevie J with another man. It wasn't Stevie J, child. Now there is stories out there about Stevie J hunching dudes, and if you was in that whole circle with Diddy back in the day and him being a producer, I don't put nothing past Stevie J. Stevie J give me, you know, homo thug, butch queen tease. He definitely gives me that type. So I don't put nothing past that man, especially when he was messing with Mimi, who Mimi now messing around with women, and then he was with Jocelyn, who's sexually fluid. So I don't put nothing past um Stevie J getting down with the get down. You have to get with women that be down with that mess in order for the men to be doing what they doing. So anyway, to wrap this story up, I just want to corroborate or let people know that they said that it was him in a sex tape with a dude. It was not him. It was a porn star by the name of Knockout. So Knockout jumped on Twitter and cleared the air. He basically said, "This is not him. It's me. Y'all really be." Wait, hold on. Let me pull up the tweet in case y'all want some of y'all hoes in the comments want to go or watching the show want to go follow Knockout over on the Twitter. So it said that's not him. This is not him. It's me, y'all. Be trying it. And I am not opening this because if it pop open and it show porn, I'm not trying to have my page taken down. They'd be like, oh, you showing ding-a-ling up in here. So yeah, I'm not opening that up. But yeah, I'm sure that the clip is up there on the Twitter because you know you can show porn on Twitter. It's not a big issue. So yeah, there you have it. It wasn't Stevie J, although I would not be surprised if Steve got some sex tapes floating around somewhere, some home videos of him getting his back blown out by some dude, you know, doing the bending. I'm sorry, but some people be like doing the bending means you topping a dude. That sounds so stupid. First of all, if you saying something about doing the bending, it makes more sense to be like you taking it up the butt, not giving it to somebody. But of course, because it came out of Tyler Perry, y'all want to sit up here and try to change it up into something else. First of all, Tyler ain't going to sit up here and try to act like he don't know phrase terminologies and things, especially when he a part of the damn community. That's another church queen hiding in a damn closet. But anyway, so Knockout also clarified that he was not at any of Diddy's parties as described in the lawsuit, and he also adds that he doesn't appreciate Rodney using his image to make a salacious claim. He also retweeted someone who claims this image of Knockout has often been used to try to smear Stevie's name, something Knockout appears to acknowledge. Saying that, and here's the thing, is that I know Knockout and Stevie J favor each other, but first of all, wouldn't you be able to tell by the tattoos who it is? Because if the tattoos match, then you know who it is. But the tattoos that Knockout has is completely different than what Stevie J has. So I don't even understand why people would even equate the two. I'm trying to remember. Ain't Knockout going through some things right now with drug addiction and fighting people on Bigo and all the other mess, if I'm not mistaken? I know Nico Aesthetics be doing a lot of videos on the porn girls and them out here fighting and doing all kinds of crazy shit on Bigo and all this other mess because y'all need to be fighting each other for beans and all that other mess. But anyway, so I say all that to say good luck on your case. If you got the tea, if you got all the stuff that you need to get to make this case work, then you bring it to the courts. You have them do what they do and let them take it from there. And we'll see if you get a coin out of it. But Diddy, your whole image is like I'm just look, no shade, but I'm just glad that finally the people starting to see Diddy for the troll and the trash that he always been, because I never liked that motherfucker. And I'm just glad that this stuff is coming out about him now, because I always said that Diddy was a damn devil. But it is what it is. Okay, so before we get to the rest of these topics, Cheryl J says, I believe this guy. So I do, but I believe it. And my thing is, like I said, um if you have evidence and all this other stuff to go against Diddy or whatever, and you're saying that all these things happen, because a lot of this stuff sound like it mimics Cassie, and if you have evidence that Diddy had you filming him for hours in the shower naked, and he's walking around with no clothes on, and you said that he drugged you, and you woke up with your booty hole hurting, and then you had Young Miami nasty ass, because I'm sure she be in on that shit too. She ain't no rapper, she a goddamn prostitute. And you want to know something? Shout out, and I don't particularly care what stuff he does, but Academic said some shit that I actually agree with for the first time. He said that he basically compared Young Miami to Ghislaine Maxwell, and you want to know something? I totally agree with that. That's why her ass been silent, because she ain't no damn different than that fucking Ghislaine. And if you keep it up, bitch, you're gonna end up in jail with him. You're gonna end up with your child out here trying to figure out who gonna raise him. So I truly believe that. And then Robert says Lauren Brobert's son has 22 charges against him, including alleged theft. Well, look, lock his ass up, because I can't stand his retarded ass mother, and I can't stand anybody that's associated with her. She give me Sarah Palin tease. She a hypocrite. This bitch out here getting finger popped at a damn Beetlejuice show, but you want to sit up in here and talk about discriminate. You want to discriminate against the gays and black people and all these other people, and talk about drag are evil and all this other stuff, but you out here getting your pussy played with at a play where there's children in the damn audience. So whatever, her and that four-eyed cunt can go kiss my entire ass. I can't stand that bitch. But anyway, let's move on with the show. Did I tell y'all how I really felt? And let's talk about Jennifer Lopez and share all the people that turned down appearing in that docuseries. I mean, in the little music video, whatever the hell it's called a short film. Yeah, it's basically a visual album, which is basically what Beyonce been giving y'all for the past 10 damn years, minus the Renaissance tour. So Jennifer Lopez, did the documentary come out, The Greatest Love Story Never Told? I haven't been on Amazon Prime Video yet, so I don't know if it came out already, but I do think it is supposed to come out this week. I think it either came out yesterday, it's supposed to come out today, or it's supposed to come out tomorrow, because tomorrow's a leap year in February. So I don't necessarily know if the documentary is out yet, because I haven't watched it. And I haven't, like I said, I haven't been on Prime Video to know. All I know is Aquaman 2 is out, and I need to get my behind around to finally watching it. Because I love me some Jason Momoa. Even if the movie sucks, I'm going to watch it. But anyway, let's get to Jennifer. So she dropped the documentary about the new visual film, This Is Me Now, a love story, and it's an extremely candid look in the making of the project, including what it was like to book all those celebrity cameos. But while the movie has has appearances of a lot of A-listers, apparently some majors have names have passed. Now, the star spilled the tea on the casting journey in her newly dropped Prime Video doc, The Greatest Story Love Story Never Told. It's been told millions of times, but okay, we'll let her go with that title. Where she and her crew first reached out to big shots like Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande. But Beyonce was busy with her Eras tour, and AG was filming Wicked over in London. But that wasn't all. Speaking of which, she actually asked Jason Momoa, Jennifer Coolidge, Lizzo, with all the controversy surrounding her, Vanessa Hudgens, and even Snoop Dogg. And I can't believe Snoop Dogg passed, because at this point, Snoop Dogg ass will show up at an envelope opening. So I don't even know how Snoop Dogg passed on a J-Lo project. That's a shocker. And it said Khloe Kardashian, as I like to call her, Clozilla, was supposed to pop in for a cameo, but she pulled out at the 11th hour, something J-Lo chalked up to the reality star being scared to put herself out there. Well, you put yourself out there for any damn thing else, why wouldn't you do it in a scripted music video, whatever? She also asked SZA, Bad Bunny, and Anthony Ramos to be a part of the list of A-listers, and they all passed. But J-Lo is all about keeping it real, and during a candid chat with her manager, Benny Medina, she acknowledged that no one wanted to turn her down. Okay. But as someone who's been in the biz for a long time, she knows that people will pass on a project if they don't think the script is up to par. It's just how the game goes, and J-Lo gets it. How you gonna say no one wanted to turn her down, but if they don't think the script is up to par, they won't be a part of it? So they did turn you down because they didn't know how the script was going to turn out. Although a lot of y'all do be signing up to do stuff when it comes to a shitty script. Can we talk about Madam Web? Y'all sign up for that foolishness and got a whole lot of money out of it. And a lot of people will sign on for shit for a check. So I call BS on this mess that they didn't want to turn her down, but then they turned it down because they didn't know how the script was gonna be. And in my opinion, they dodged a damn bullet because, in my opinion, like I said before, and I know y'all seen the clips and the videos and stuff in the past, but I've consistently been talking about this is me now era. I felt like the product was disjointed and it was self-serving and it was a mess. It didn't like I understood like all the influence and things you wanted to put in about, the Taino princess and all this other stuff. And that was cute and the rosebud and all that other mess. But um to me, it just okay. You put all these little symbolisms and things in there, but script wise, it was just I was left confused. Like at one point, halfway through, I'm like, damn, I'm 20 minutes in and already I'm looking at my damn watch waiting for this shit to end. And I'm like, damn, we were further along. I thought I was a good 40 minutes in. No, it was 20 minutes, and I'm already looking at my damn watch, waiting for this mess to end. But a lot of y'all can't look beyond the fact that, oh, she's so pretty and she works hard. But okay, that's cute or whatever. Congratulations to her. Yes, Jennifer Lopez is one of the hardest working girls in the game. But if the music and the quality of the videos and the story and everything isn't there, then I don't give a fuck how pretty somebody look. If the story ain't serving, I'm not supporting it. And I'm not gonna just fall in line and be behind something because it's not giving what needs to be given. Like everybody's gonna get it. I don't give a fuck who it is. If I go see Dune 2 tomorrow, that movie's a piece of shit, I'm dragging it. Even though I already know that everybody collectively across the board said this is the best film of 2024 so far. That's the best sci-fi film we've seen in a long time. And when I go see it tomorrow, I'm gonna let y'all know if it's a fact. But to me, it's we got to look beyond the whole thing of people looking good and hair makeup. Like that's the job of someone who does hair and makeup. They supposed to make your ass look good. But like I said, the film took me out a lot of times when I'm looking and I'm like, she's clearly in a room that's a big green screen. And when I seen the clip of her advertising the documentary, they showed her in walking on set, and it's like a giant, like very much out of RuPaul's Drag Race, like the big green screen, and people they be standing on the green screen, and then they put the thing in. That's what it looked like to me, and it's like I could tell because my eye, my trained eye from going to film school, is like to look out for certain things, and I could just tell when something wasn't properly rendered and it looked fake. And when things start to look fake and CGI and stuff, it takes me out. That's like that first episode of, even though the CGI and the special effects, everything got better as it went along. The first episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender took me out a lot of times because I could tell that it wasn't practical, that it was green screen. There was I'm like, okay, they didn't do that properly. Like that looks a little wonky. Like I started to look at that, and I hate having to be put in that space. But when you're trained to look at certain things a certain way, it just happens. It clicks on. I can't control it. So, um, then I saw that Robert sent me this clip from BuzzFeed because I happened to just be scrolling through my phone and checking my messages. And then I saw BuzzFeed did something too, where it was like Jennifer was left frustrated when Anthony Ramos dropped out. So I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Anthony Ramos, who he's another one of my husbands. I have a lot. I love me some Anthony Ramos. That is like my other husband, besides Pedro Pascal and Oscar Isaac. You know, I've claimed a lot of men's over the years and still do. But Anthony Ramos is good friends with her ex-husband, Mark Anthony. I don't know if a lot of people know this. So that was one of the reasons, or probably the reason, that he said, hell to the no. Hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Remember that from Sheree? So it said, in the BuzzFeed article, it says, Jen revealed that she lost out on her first choice of a co-star, Anthony Ramos, due to his friendship with her ex-husband, Mark Anthony. Now, Jennifer famously married Mark just 5 months after she split from her now husband, Ben Affleck, back in 2004. They welcomed to and that's because J-Lo and Mark have known each other. Like, they were working and friends and all that stuff back when she recorded On the Six. Because didn't they do a song together? And they were working behind, and he was working behind the scenes and stuff with her on that album. And so they were friends then. But a lot of people always saying that J-Lo and Ariana Grande got a lot in common. Y'all like poaching other people's men. But they said they welcomed twins Emmy and Max in 2008 and separated 3 years later. They finalized the divorce in 2014 and thought to have a healthy co-parenting relationship. And are thought, sorry. After their split, Jennifer dated A-Rod between 2017 and 2021. He was cheating on her all that time in between before rekindling her romance with Ben and marrying him allegedly and marrying him in 2022. I keep forgetting to say allegedly. And it said, meanwhile, Mark married fashion model Nadia Ferrera last year. And I think she's pregnant or was pregnant when they got married. But in a seriously candid scene in her documentary, Jennifer can be seen confiding in her longtime friend and her movie's wardrobe supervisor, Sean Beasley Barton, during rehearsal. She says Anthony Ramos was going to do this. The guy from In the Heights, he was going to do the rebound number with me, The Glass House. And he was like, I'm friends with Mark. The documentary then cuts to a flashback scene of J-Lo speaking to Anthony on the phone about the situation. She literally called him and asked him about trying to get get Anthony Ramos on the phone, like a part of the docuseries or the music video. Now that's a gag. While his side of the conversation isn't included, it is evident that Jennifer is trying to talk him around. Oh no, when it comes to Virgos, no shade, but we're a loyal bunch, and mind who you friends with, who you cool with. Like, you can be friends with, but as long as you keep my name out your fucking mouth when you with them other people over there that I don't particularly care for. So that's usually how I am as a Virgo. But my thing is that Anthony is probably loyal to his friendship with Mark and probably feels like, you know what? I'm more or less closer to him than I am to you. And out of respect of my friendship with Mark, I'm sorry, I cannot do this video with you where you want me to portray a character that I'm abusing you, because in that rebound video, she's putting the dancer, because that's what she chose. She chose one of her backup dancers, because I remember seeing him before. Um, he's supposed to be portraying this character of like him physically abusing her, and then they're doing the human nature choreography with the ropes and all the other stuff being connected, and then she takes the glass and cuts it and all this other stuff. So I'm like, you're not gonna have me up in here playing this character, because you might be implying that maybe this might be Mark that you're talking about. And you're not putting me in that position where, as a friend, as I'm friends with Mark, and then you're gonna have me playing this character. Like, no, I'm not doing that out of loyalty to my friendship, because you're not gonna have me out here looking like no damn fool, or you trying to change it up to where it's like maybe there was some abuse going on in the relationship with you and him. I don't know if it was physical, but I'm sure it was probably emotional, because I'm sorry, no shade. As much as I love being a Virgo, there's times we could be mean motherfuckers, and we will make you feel like the scum of the earth if you do some shit that we don't like. So I'm gonna be truthful about it. So it said, first of all, I didn't know that you and Mark were like good friends. I didn't know that. Well, that's nice. But no, that sounds a little sarcastic. It's like, oh, you didn't know they was good friends. So what you thought he was an acquaintance? You thought, oh, we just liked each other in passing? Like I just give him a pound when I'm walking past? Like, no, bitch, we are actually friends. Like we kiki on the phone and we do all kinds of stuff together. Like we're not literally just up here, um, you know, what up, dog, and then give them a pound and keep it pushing. Maybe that's how you are with your friends. But for Anthony Ramos and Mark Anthony, men value friendships way different than women do. So then J-Lo also explained that Mark is the father of her two children, so the film won't be explicit. It won't be explicitly referencing him. She tells Anthony, he's the father of my kids. Obviously, I'm never going to do anything that's going to like pinpoint him out. But it is very meta. Yes, which goes to show that the implication is going to be there that there's some kind of situation that is she talking about? Because I will tell you this, even before I even knew Anthony Ramos was supposed to be a part of that scene. Say that 10 times fast. I thought that's what she was talking about. And then they try to say Libra, but Libra is the sign after Virgo. So my thing is, she probably was talking about him, but was trying to clean it. I said, no, bitch, you're not gonna play me for no. See, you can't be that damn dense, J Lo. You really cannot be that damn dense when you really thinking, oh, I didn't know y'all was good friends. I know y'all was good Judies like that, but also, I would never say anything negative about him, but as meta. Since some type of bitch that talk out of both sides of her damn mouth. And it's like, so which one is it? You ain't gonna talk about him really, but there's stuff in there that might be about him, but not really because it's meta. Fuck out of here with it. This is one of the reasons why I don't particularly care for her. I like, all the hard work and everything that she does, but when you say stuff like this made me not like you. Because it's like you trying to play in my face like I'm dumb, but you're not smart enough to try to outsmart me. So yeah, so to wrap this up, it says it's not about it is about kind of the 20-year journey between This Is Me Then and the album. A lot of things happen. There's a lot of relationships I was in, clearly, because you couldn't stand 5 minutes by yourself. The things you're playing is a rep of many relationships, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So yeah, I'm just glad that Mark could not be, that Anthony Ramos said no and stood 10 toes down on it. And she was frustrated because he said no to her. Yes, sis. So I can imagine if Anthony Ramos, who's not even on the level of the Bad Bunnies and so many other big names that I mentioned that turn your ass down, how you real mad over the fact that someone who people are just now getting ready to know as an Anthony Ramos, how you mad at him for not being in it? So to me, it's like there was some real personal shit that was there. You kind of knew that they was real good friends and you had an agenda and you got caught out there because you ain't get your damn way. So it said that he couldn't be swayed, and J-Lo later expressed her frustration as she tells Beezy, I'm not even playing me in this. There's a protagonist, this woman who goes on a journey. Yes, but when you out here saying that this is based off of things in your life, but really, it confuses your audience. So is it autobiographical? Are you playing a different character? You're saying that this album is your most personal album to date, but you're putting things in there that's not necessarily you. You're playing a character. It's like no, that whole thing does not make it's meta, but not meta. Like no, that doesn't make sense. Like it's not working. It's not jar. Like you sound dumb. But maybe not as she is sounding dumb. She probably is dumb in real life. And so Anthony's like, yeah, I think that people are going to think that you know how the media is. I said, but if we only did our art thinking about what the media is going to say, what the F are we doing? So she could slice it and dice it and put a little icing on it any which way she want to put it. But the proof is in the pudding, and it is what it is. The fact that yeah, people are gonna believe what they're gonna believe. People are gonna think what they're gonna think. And if you're trying to say that this is order, it's based off of things in your life, but you're putting things in there, people are gonna be okay. So what part is about what's going on with you, and what part is not? Is it about how much I love you is? I mean, you are. I said is how I love you are with your current husband, or is it the other? So it's a world. You've opened up a world of confusion. So I'm confused by this whole thing. Y'all are probably confused listening to all of this. She talking out of both sides of her mouth. She sound like a whole damn fool. And kudos to Anthony Ramos for doing the smart thing and the right thing by saying no, I'm not going to be a part of this foolishness, because Quiet as Kept, as well as it did over on Apple Music, Apple TV and all the other stuff, the docu series, the album is a flop. So ain't nobody stream that shit over on and streaming is free. So ain't nobody listening to it. So anyway, good luck to you, J Lo. You didn't get your way. We'll just probably see in the documentary when I finally get around her throwing a little temper tantrum because she ain't get the things that she wanted. But such is life. Okay. Okay, so Robert did say it's out. Okay, so I guess when I get around to it, sometime this weekend, I'll check it out and I'll probably I'll give my opinion on it in full. JLo is very shady to Anthony Ramos, showing his phone call and her getting pissed that he's loyal to his friend and I hope y'all read her fulfilled in them damn comments on social media for doing that. Cause it's like she really has a problem with Virgos, although she did have one, Kiki Palmer, in her show. So she's talking about she don't like Virgos, but bitch, you employed one. But you can't tell me you ain't know that Kiki was a Virgo. This just proves she is hating the father of her children, and now we know why Mark is going to court to get access to his kids. She basically forced the kids um, to hate him. Well, yeah. Well, look, if this is the case that she's weaponizing her children to if she's weaponizing her children against the father because she's feeling bitter or he did whatever he did to her throughout their marriage, because if they divorced 3 years later after she had the children, then clearly, yeah, when that they've been divorced since the kids were 3, and they're like what, 16, I believe, or about to be 16. I don't necessarily know their birthdays, but I know they're in this year they will be 16, if not already. If it comes to a point that, because remember I did the story on TikTok about, and I believe on this show as well, that no, it was TikTok, and it's still gaining traction. I still get people who like and comment on that video to this day. Um, where where Emmy didn't go to Mark's wedding. I'm trying to remember if Max went. Probably not. I don't remember because I did it so long ago, and I see it still trending, but I don't sit and rewatch my videos. I just do it, put out there, and hope for the best. So, I watched. Well, not watched, but I did. I do believe they said Emmy skipped the wedding and went and did something with her mother or whatever. They went away or whatever. And I saw recently, I've seen videos of Jennifer Garner. Now she's hanging out with the kids, and she had Serafina and Emmy with her while they went and rode roller coasters or something or another. So, and the family's blended. They're making it work. I guess Ben out here, with his addiction to coffee and cigarettes, he's dealing and tolerating all the bullshit that J-Lo pushing and probably putting him through. Because then it was implied earlier when Robert said that she got him out here on social media. And I don't know if Ben was on social media like that, but boy, don't be out here making a fool of yourself to please that lady. I know you love your wife, and a lot of people do things for for people that they love, you know, to please them, or whatever. But no, don't do that to yourself. Okay, so let's move on. I want to pop this open real quick. Okay, I got it because yeah, and let's talk about my girl Gabourey Sidibe, who is expecting twins with her hubby. So let me pull this picture up because we're gonna sit up in here and look at Miss Mama, her little pink dress, and her husband. And we're gonna talk about it. So my huge congratulations to actress Gabourey Sidibe, who is pregnant and expecting twins with her husband, Brandon Frankel. Hopefully no relation to Bethany. So according to People, the Oscar nominee, who is 39, is pregnant, expecting twins with her husband Brandon Frankel. She revealed on Instagram on Tuesday. Now, sharing a series of photos, the actress wears a bright pink dress, excuse me, and poses with her husband, cradling her baby bump. She also included a snap of the two pushing twin strollers together, as well as one where the couple looks at themselves in the mirror, saying, "I'm pregnant. We thought it was time to give our cat some responsibility." That's actually funny. Our cats have responsibilities, so we're giving them each a baby to take care of. This is what she wrote in her caption: double the babies, double the cats, double the fun. Twin delivery coming soon, 2024. You know what? What's always the thing? I've always loved me some Gabourey Sidibe. She always, she always seemed like she's like a bowl of fun. Like she to me is like somebody who I would have a great time with if I was to hang out. Like she would be one of my good girlfriends. And then one of the things I like about her is that when she laughs, she snorts. So she always makes me laugh when she laughs. So I've always liked Gabourey Sidibe. So congratulations to her. I'm really excited that she's actually happy and she's found someone that loves her, that's making her happy, and she's about to be a mama. So now in December, Sidibe revealed on Live with Kelly and Ryan that she married Frankel, who was in the studio audience during her talk show appearance. Now, after detailing a proposal story, which they got engaged in November 2020 after each other on a dating app, Sidibe explained, the thing about weddings is I don't like them. I don't like them. Here's an example of how much I don't like them. I'm actually married. We got married over a year ago. When host Kelly Ripa and Ryan Seacrest said they were confused and asked if this was breaking news, Sidibe said yes and added that they tied the knot at the kitchen table about 4 months after their engagement and said she don't like weddings. So, well, congratulations to her. She seems really happy, and I'm glad that she's finally, getting the love and joy and all that so that she deserves. Now, I would like to see her in some more acting projects. Like I know Brian Murphy gives her gigs every now and again when she's on American Horror Story, but I would definitely love to see Gabby out here doing needs to be done. And like I said, I'm glad that she's finally found love in a hopeless place, and that she's, married and stuff. And yeah, I just want to push up real quick. You get to see the strolls and stuff, and I hope that she has two happy, healthy two happy, healthy babies. But I was gonna say two twins. The problem people when they say two twins mean you having, four kids. It's a set of twins. So I be always having to correct people on that. Okay, so we have one more topic that we're gonna get to and then get up out of here. But let me get to these comments. I was thinking the double mint gum commercial when she said that. Double the fun, double the pleasure, or is it double the well, look, if you want to be out here having twins or having kids or whatever, look, I always say the good thing about twins, if you can knock that out, because it's funny, my mother's side of family, twins run on that side of family. So I'm sure, like, if I decide to have kids, um, who knows? I'll probably be able to bring twins into the world. But the good thing about twins, if it could be in a situation like Jennifer Lopez or Mariah Carey, and I can have one of each and knock it out the park. I think Ricky Martin did he have twins too? And there were oh yeah, he does have twins. Mateo and Valentino, I believe, are the twins that he had. But yeah, so if I could have twins, a set of twins, and it's a boy and a girl, I'd be like, I'll knock it out of the park. But then knowing me, I'd be like, yep, I got him out of the way. I got my boy, I got my girl, let's move on. But then again, who knows? I'll probably be one of those people that's like, oh no, I want to have at least a good 4 or 5. Because I mean, I don't come from a big family. My mother had 3 children. But I do know a lot of people that come from like, especially on my parents' side, cousins, all that stuff. They have a plethora of children. So Robert also says you can't tell me it's a weight issue. It's about the person who they are on the inside, because obviously she's a beautiful human being to get snacked like him for. So I know people could be like, "Oh, what's your intention? How can you find somebody like her?" And that's why I say it's bullshit when y'all be running around here trying to act like, "Oh, because she big, nobody's gonna want her." But she found her man that loves her, and it's a white man, and people gonna get mad. Oh well. But if black men was out here doing their duties or whatever, because I'm sure that Gabourey was out here dating black men or whatever, it shouldn't matter what the person's race is. It should matter about if the person treats you right and they love you for you, and not because if you lost a couple, if you got, let's pretend we Wendy Williams talking to Sean. If you got liposuction, you be people will want you, whatever the case is. It's like that's not always the case. If you love yourself and you stand 10 toes down on who you are, and your spirit and everything about you exudes happiness and positivity, and you love yourself, then you will find somebody that feels the same way, and you will attract that. So don't be out here listening to these people when they tell you, oh, if you go get a nose job, if you get you some new titties, if you go get you that BBL, if you go under the knife and have that fat sucked out, and good look, you be seeing all these people that be going on botched, because they be out here getting all this work done, and their bodies be all messed up because they trying to please other people, and then they got to come up in there and they got to correct all that mess. So love yourselves. Because in the words of RuPaul, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love somebody else? Can I get a hallelujah? You know, every time he says, "Can I get an amen?" I actually do hallelujah on purpose because I always like to be I always like to do the opposite of what people say. Or you say, through sets of twins in school. Yeah, it's always good if you could do twins or whatever. But anyway, okay, so let's get to our final topic, and let's talk about Billy Porter, who we talked about this a while ago, that he was putting up his house because due to the actor strike and all the other stuff, so we had a lot of projects in the works, and he said that he had lost his home because there was a lot of strikes going on, and he wasn't able to afford all the things that he was accustomed to. So now Billy Porter, the acclaimed pose actor, has put his luxurious Bellport Village, Long Island home on the market for $2.5 million. This move comes as Porter faces financial strain due to his recent SAG-AFTRA strike, leading to the cancellation of his projects. And hold on, let me actually do y'all this solid so y'all can see what the house looked like before we get to the rest of the story. Because I'm like, yeah, we could imagine what it looked like, but the house is actually cute. I was like, okay, I see you. So that's the outside of the house. And so it says that he listed his 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath house, which is located 70 miles outside New York City in the beach town of Bellport Village in Long Island on Tuesday, asking for a cool $2.5 million for the over 1 acre property. Now, while it sounds like a pretty penny to some, it's worth every cent because the house comes with a gorgeous outside patio, a heated lap pool. Well, I want one of those. A home gym and its very own treehouse. First of all, what the hell would you be doing with a treehouse? Like, if I had children, I would actually get a treehouse to incorporate that. Like, that to me is like, okay, the treehouse be for the kids, unless you probably could use a treehouse to be like your other house, which would be like your man cave or whatever the case is. So the property also offers over 4,500 square feet of living space on well-kept grounds. Now, if you're wondering why Billy would part ways with such an ideal investment, he actually shared back in August that he was hurting financially as a result of the SAG strike and telegraphed this sort of move might happen down the line. At the time, he said both movie and a TV show he was working on got scrapped due to the protest, which lasted a whopping 118 days. And then also we should point out that he's also I don't know if he's divorced or if he's still in the throes of getting a divorce. But his husband, Adam Smith, they split last year. And, it could be a plethora of things. It could be the fact of a division of assets. Maybe Adam has some assets incorporated up in the house and stuff as well, and all that stuff. But before I get to my opinion on this whole Billy Porter situation, what I want to do is let's get to the clip of him on speaking to TMZ about the whole situation of him, because nobody does melodrama like Billy Porter does. So let's play this clip and then we'll come back.
There was a report that one of the executives said, we're going to wait for them to start losing their home.
Yeah.
Right?
And what I say is, I'm already losing my home. That's why we're striking.
And you're Billy Porter.
Yes. I'm already losing my home. That's why we're striking.
Yeah.
Please understand that. This is not like it's not a game. You know what I mean? And it's just.
Are they making progress? Have you heard anything? Is there any progress?
I haven't actually. I mean, I hope they are.
Yeah.
I'm trying to have some grace about this.
I can see it's hard. I can see you're emotional. I can see it's hard for you.
It's emotional for all of us.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to have grace about it. And so,
Yeah.
I tried to not talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I know that the only thing coming out of my mouth right now is venom and rage. That's all. And it's not useful. And I'm saying that to you. And I want you to air that part too.
Yeah.
Right? Because y'all don't air that part. You only air the venom part.
Well, I don't know. Look,
y'all get the venom part and then you drag us for telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. And I will always tell the truth. And anybody who sees this can say whatever it is that they want. It's a rough 2 weeks for me. When you're open and you're vulnerable, right? And you talk to the journalists who are doing their jobs, and then the world drags you. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It's just a pain in the ass. And it's new for me. It's a lot newer than what people think for me.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't become a household name until I was in my 50s. So like, you know, this whole process is new for me. And so, you know, I'm talking to you vulnerable. I'm talking to you open. And I hope that people can receive whatever it is that I'm saying that way.
I see that.
You got it?
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
Now I got to go.
So, I'm glad you got to go, sir. And here's the thing: did y'all notice all that damn spitting he was like? Damn, Billy, I may have to get myself a shield. All that damn spitting you was doing while you was talking. Now I'm spitting, making fun of him. Excuse me. But anyway, so I get it that he's going through the things that he's going through in regards of the struggleization of everything. But here's the thing: if you didn't just start coming into money until your 50s, why are you out here trying to live like you been doing this for a long time and you spending 2.5 or however, but I don't know how much. That's what the market he put on the market for. I don't know how much he spent on the house with renovations or so what the initial price was. I wish I knew what the initial price of that house in Long Island. First of all, Long Island taxes, y'all are crazy with the damn taxes. I know because my grandmother lives out in Long Island, not too far from Fire Island, actually. And then I got a cousin, I got a lot of family members on my mother's side that live in Long Island. Them taxes is no damn joke. Them property taxes, all the shit. Y'all out y'all mind with them damn taxes. But anyway, so I don't get like why you out here living beyond your means if you don't have that money. I guess maybe in his mind, he thought because of the success of Pose, him being an Emmy winner and all this other stuff, that he was gonna all this money was gonna keep pouring in, especially because he's been directing stuff lately. He's been starring in a lot of projects, and because of the writer's strike, all that stuff things got canceled, things got tossed away. I hear like this year is gonna be a pretty bad year. Excuse me, in regards of shows and films and stuff getting greenlit because Hollywood's hurting for money. But that's y'all fault. Y'all didn't want to pay these people a living wage and take care of your clientele while these executives are running all buying a fourth damn yacht or taking these trips to you know, Mykonos or wherever y'all be going, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, all that other mess. Y'all out here spend all that damn money living that lavish life by hookers when you got a whole woman on the side and married and all this other mess. So y'all do all this, spend all this money, but you not want to pay your actors and the people that work hard on these films a damn living wage. Now, what I don't understand is like if Billy was hurting for money, isn't he a Tony Award winner? Doesn't he do Broadway? Why don't you go and look to do? He could have jumped into other things. You talk about Hollywood is hurt. Oh, I know. It's the fact of the matter is that in Hollywood, once you've made it to the other side, you don't want to go back to the theater. That's why I applaud people like Judith Light and Vanessa Williams and these other people. It's like, yeah, I do TV and movies and other stuff, but if I need to, I will go right back to Broadway, and I will still give y'all a show. And that's why I believe that Judith Light's about to be receive a, I can't remember off the top of my head which exactly it is, but I know she's about to get a Lifetime Achievement Award for her contributions and stuff to the theater people, to like Broadway and stuff, which is good. So my thing is like, I ain't too proud to beg to get up and go and get a job and do what I need to do to be able to pay my bills or to be able to keep my lifestyle. But a lot of times these gays and these people be out here wanting to live beyond y'all means, and y'all got too much pride to get out there and do what needs to be done in regards of the projects or whatever, and to be able to pay them bills. But it's probably that, who knows, maybe he had the house under him and Adam and wanted to split that up and kind of give what need to be given to the other people. So I understand if you need to accumulate all that. But as far as like, but to me, that house looks like something like what most people do, especially if you got money. Like if you're a New Yorker, you have your apartment in Manhattan, right? And then the summertime, you either, the Straits, y'all go to the Hamptons for the summer. And some gays, like Diddy, he was always going to the Hamptons. I'm surprised his ass didn't go to Fire Island as much stuff he was doing with them dudes. Or the gays would go to Fire Island if you had money. Andy Cohen, my friend Dana DCO, does a lot of, he pretty much has stake in Fire Island, where he does a lot of he does a lot of parties and stuff out there, especially at the Ice Palace. He does the underwear parties and all that stuff. And I believe he has a share out there as well. So, that's all the rich gays go. The rich gays go to Fire Island. The hetero gays or the hetero gays, do they even make sense? The heteros with money, they go to the Hamptons. So I don't understand why, like, that to me, does sound like a summer share. But does he have another place that he's living, or is he sleeping on people's couch? That's what I want to know. But I still this to say, good luck to you, Billy Porter. If you still hurting for money, what happened with the album? Did you not make no money from the album? Quiet as it's kept. I ain't think the album was good. That he came out with the Black Mona Lisa, or whatever, and it was just that music was just dated to me. It was a given what needed to be given. I need a little more from him with that. But did you not make money from that recent album? Because there should have been money there that you could be able to pay your bills. I know you got to pay your band and you got to pay, whatever. But I don't know how your deal is, but you should have been able to have money to pay them. And then same thing with like I said, music, you got the Broadway. If the TV projects, and I know ain't no money like TV money and movie money, because they do pay a good coin. But if things is not working out in other ways, jump on that. Or if you have to, Chad, you might have to start waiting tables again. But I can't see Billy at 50 doing that. He's like, I ain't going back to that. But look, like I said, I ain't too proud to beg. But anyway, so that concludes the end of the show. This is the first time in a while that I did a show on it too. Because I was like, let me keep it and at a minimum of topics, because I got a lot of things to do. So anyway, so those of you who've been in the comments, thank you all for tuning in to the latest episode of Kris Avalon Unfiltered. Do yourselves a favor before you click off, hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification button if you haven't already, so that way when we go live with a brand new episode of Kris Avalon Unfiltered. I'm trying to see when the next time I come on. I'll probably come back on Friday to do a show to catch y'all up on some things, because there's a lot of stuff that's going down in entertainment news and gossip and stuff. So once again, love you all for watching. And I appreciate all of you that are all, that have been loyal and tuning in and giving a damn about what I got to say in regards to celebrity news and gossip. And yeah, so love you all for watching. And until next time, ciao, darlings.